Hey, I'm going to call a chance and opportunity to join me on this impromptu Facebook Live today. I have something to say, and it is of other intent. I bring something to you all's attention because it has truly election as local. And some of you may not believe some of the things that I hear, some of the things that go on. But today's Facebook is entitled, Who Are You Riding With? Because one thing that I can tell you about Daphne Monique Jordan is I do my best to stand on the truth and the facts. And orange has never been the new black for me. And we have an election in the city of South Fulton that you all need to pay very close attention to if you haven't been, that I'm going to just mention a few facts about today so that you all can make a good assessment and judgment for yourselves. But more importantly, I just want you all to know that no matter what happens in this world, no matter what's going on, you should never let fear be the basis of your foundation. You should never allow yourself to feel like, because I don't know someone, I'm going to ride with someone like Herschel Walker. See, because that's why we're in a runoff, because of fear. People had a fear about Warnock, so they rode and they riding with Herschel, knowing good and doggone well Herschel Walker is not a good candidate and a good representation of their beliefs and their values and their moral compasses. But they still have been riding with some Herschel Walker because they're familiar with Herschel Walker. They know Herschel Walker. At least they think they do. And they've heard of Herschel Walker. So instead of trying to get to know Warnock, they choose the easy way and they ride with Herschel. So I'm just going to open this up. Last time I had the song, and I've heard from many of you, and y'all really liked my song the last time. But some of y'all, I want y'all to listen. This is a goodie. This is an oldie but goodie. I want y'all to ask yourselves. I want y'all to ask yourselves. As y'all in these streets, I want to ask y'all one question. Are you riding dirty? Are you riding dirty with some candidates that you know have a criminal record and a recent criminal history, and you done put your name beside this person, and you expect me and others to have respect for you? Is that what y'all doing? That's what we doing now. By any means necessary. Because I don't know somebody, I'm riding with this person because I think I know this person. So I'm going to ride with this person over here, even though they have a criminal history, pending open felony cases right now as we speak. And you riding with that person. And y'all had the nerve to call me and ask me if I would ride with you. And the answer is absolutely not. I don't ride with no thieves, and I don't ride with liars, and I don't ride with nobody who has pending felony cases, who has taken it upon themselves yet again to run for office. Because y'all know that person, or y'all think y'all do. And this person has shown you year after year after year after year what they're capable of. And the one thing that they're not not capable of is the truth. They're capable of having a they're not capable of being a good representation of themselves, let alone being a representation of a district in the city of South Florida. Y'all had the nerve to call me and ask me if I would support that person. I just wanted to come here and let y'all know so y'all don't even have to reach out to me anymore. The answer is absolutely not. I don't ride dirty. Some of y'all riding dirty. It's some text messages flying around here. And one day, those text messages are going to bite y'all. They're going to come and haunt you, and you're going to wish you never had nothing to do with this. Let me be very clear. You might want to go get your Bible and do some real soul searching, because anytime you allow yourself to be overcome with fear, okay, and you don't choose to exercise your God-given faith and reach out to people yourself and find out who they are for yourself, but you end up riding in the same car with the devil, y'all both headed for self-destruction. And at some point, this is going to come out, and all y'all who riding dirty are going to wish you never, ever done it. Let me tell you, some of y'all need to park that car and jump out, because you've exposed yourself. You've now let me and a lot of other people know you will sell your soul to try to control who gets into an election. That's what we got with Herschel Walker. You're no different. You are no different than them. Some of y'all feel like, well, we don't know them. We don't know. Who is Mario Clark? Who is this person? I don't know him. Well, get to know people. When the city of South Fulton became a city, didn't nobody know y'all either. Some of y'all. But the one thing I'll never do is I'll never, ever, ever believe a tiger gonna change their stripes, because they don't. But some of y'all need to go, and I'm gonna say it again, look in the mirror. Because some of y'all profess to be Christians. Y'all need to go look in the mirror right now and ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? Is this really the type of person I've become because I don't know someone? I am calling people all around the city saying, hey, y'all need to support this person. We need to get this person in office because, we can persuade this person to go our way. We don't know who this person is. Are y'all really that intimidated by someone new? I meet new people every day. That's how you expand your network, and your network determines your net worth. So now it makes sense to me why some of y'all stay broke. It makes sense to me why some of y'all end up with the wrong people in your circle, because you're not open-minded. You're not willing to get out from behind these computers and really get to know people for yourselves. You would rather push a narrative that this person or that person is over here with this person, and it's all a flat out lie. I am so floored by some of the phone calls I've received about a candidate who's running for office. And some of you have opted to support the opposing candidate who's been running for office since 2012 and has yet to win, because thank God these people, the voters, are good judgments of character. And I thought some of you were, but you know what I thank God for? I thank God for exposing you to me. Because the moment you reached out to me and asked me if I would support a liar, crook, and a thief, I knew then that y'all either you've been smoking something or something is wrong with you. I don't roll like that. I don't ride dirty. Let me just play one time, because some of y'all, I don't ride dirty. So I ain't riding with y'all. I'm not rocking with y'all on this nonsense about I am supporting this other candidate because I know her. The District 7 race is going to be interesting. And let me tell you why. Because some people are out here knocking on phones and doors and trying to convince people to support a crook. They're trying to get and convince people to support someone who has 3 pending open felony cases right now in Fulton County. And they're trying to get people who I thought had logical, good common sense to support that person over the guy who, let me just run it off for y'all real quick. Because since y'all done awakened the giant, since y'all done came my way, I just want to let y'all know, y'all don't need to call me about any foolishness to support someone who has a history of committing crimes, has a history of suing people that they don't win races. When they don't win, they go sue the people and they try to tear their character down and they try to pull up all these negative things about the opposing person they're running against instead of telling people what they're going to do. So they go through all these tactics and y'all want to ride with that person. I'm going to tell you, all I did a few weeks ago was I had Mario Clark. He reached out and said, hey, I know that you have a group called Safer Communities. I just want to let you know I'm a candidate in District 7, and I want you to get to know me and vice versa. And I want to, let the citizens know why I'm running for office. And one of my 3 key pillars is safety. And I said, you know what? I'm open. I'm willing to listen. Mario Clark, you guys, has been living in Fulton County for 20 years. He's a tax-paying citizen. He has a home that we can validate and verify. We can roll up into his driveway and see that he lives there. And he's been paying taxes for 20 plus years, born and raised in Atlanta, a graduate of D.M. Farrell High School from the class of 1995. And he's also a college graduate from Howard University, class of 1999. He's an educated Black man. And y'all walking around here calling people saying, can you support this other person? I'm really confused. But I'm not shocked because this is how some people in this community operate. And you all are going to regret the day that you put your face by that other person. You're going to regret the day that you chose to jump on that person's bandwagon, because that person is not going to continue to bring themselves shame, but they're going to bring it your way too. And you're going to expose yourself. People are going to see you for who you really are. Because again, if you are truly a Christian, if you truly know the God that I serve, you don't get in bed with the devil just because you don't know somebody over here. Because you feel like I can control this person. I know how this person gonna move, but what y'all don't know. I'm telling you, y'all are being bamboozled and hoodwinked. Y'all are being used by that person because they don't have nowhere else to go and nobody else to help them because of their tendencies to do the wrong things in this community. So you can't get on Facebook one day talking about you are about transparency and doing the right thing when you are right now doing the wrong thing. It's sad, and I'm very disappointed. And don't call my phone because I'm not answering no more calls about this District 7 race. I live in District 3. District 7 does need good representation. District 7 does not need another cloud hanging over that district that has someone that could come into that district with 3 pending felony cases that are open, which means they are out on bond as we speak right now. If they go and steal some bubblegum, then they may go back to jail. Do y'all understand? Because they were already arrested. And y'all want to get behind that? Y'all, I have lost all respect for some of you. I have lost all respect. And it lets me know that your support is swayed by motives and intentions to try to control situations. That's what it lets me know about you. So when you decide to go this route, and you out here making these phone calls and y'all putting stuff in writing, and now you got text messages flying with your names on it, and y'all have all these things that are going on behind the scenes, and y'all think you're helping this person, you are not only hurting this person, but you're hurting yourself. This is bad. And I am telling you all who are involved right now that y'all need to do an about face before it gets ugly. Because one thing about me is I can't be persuaded by no money. I can't be persuaded by nobody who's going to tell me I'm going to get in office and I'm going to do this. Listen, been doing this for a long time. I'm a pretty good judgment of character. Most of the people that I have been behind have been pretty decent, good people that were not politicians. They were good people and they're in office and they're doing good work. Those are the people that I stand for. People who can't be under investigation and misuse of P cards. I don't deal with them people. And if there is such a thing that's going on, then perhaps they've allowed certain things to cloud their judgment and do something that's outside of the norm that I would not be aware of. So all I'm telling y'all today is the District 7 race and the Warnock and Herschel race are very similar in that we are a people, okay? And this is just, it seems to be human nature. It's not just a black or a white thing, but it is a people thing. When you're not confident in yourself enough to get out of your comfort zone to get to know somebody, you would rather just fall back and ride with the person that you think you know, or who has run for office so many times they didn't even have to go buy campaign signs because they've had them for the past 12 years from all the races they've already run. And then they put the little they put the little tape across to hide what race they was in because they got to recycle signs because they've run so many times. Y'all want to fall back and ride with that. An absolute atrocity. Some of you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. And these text messages flying with your name on it is what's going to be the end of you. LaToya, let's talk about it. It is really sad. I wish I could trust y'all with some of the information I know right now, but this is all I'm gonna tell y'all. Let me tell y'all, this is what I don't do. I don't ride dirty, boo. I don't ride dirty. I don't ride dirty. And my car ain't dirty. I don't ride dirty. Y'all are riding dirty. And y'all are gonna regret the day that y'all went that route. Get to know people. What's wrong with y'all? What is wrong with getting to know people? I'm going to say it again. Your network determines your net worth. If you don't have a lot of people that you're meeting every day, new people, and you're staying in a box, in a clique, that's why you have no progression. Can't grow in a box around the same people. You don't grow like that. I attend one networking event a week, and sometimes more than that. And sometimes they're not in person, they're Zooms, but I get to know people. I give people a chance. I give people, and I do my research. So this Mario Clark race, I want y'all to do your own research. Don't just take my word for it. And I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm telling y'all who you don't need to vote for. In District 7, I'm telling you who you need to vote for. You need to vote for Mario Clark. and if you live in District 7, or if you have friends and family in District 7, this man has come through the race in a runoff. And it scared them. Oh my God, oh my God, where did he come from? Who is this guy? Yeah, yeah, you'd be surprised. Honey, I done talk to people off the ledge. Who is this? But you know the other person. And you can go Google the other person, and the first thing that's going to come up is a mugshot. And that's who y'all want to put in office. I do not. Then if you would put that person in office, then you would ride with Herschel Walker, who says Trump is his friend. Yes, he said Trump is his friend. FWEIND. I guess that's how you would spell that. But he said Trump is my friend. And he's walking around with a fake badge like he is a police because he is living in Never Never Land. And some of y'all, this other person that's running against Mario Clark reminds me of Herschel Walker, because they riding around pretending to be somebody that they're not. Every time this person runs, they show up to be somebody else. And this time, the reason why I committed the crime that time, and the reason why I did that, to me, it's a conscious choice and decision to commit a crime. It is a conscious choice and decision to find yourself with 3 pending felonies and out on bond. That is a conscious choice and decision. How are you fit for office when you can't even get your own life and affairs in order? How? And we've seen what that detriment brings to a new city. And y'all think you're going to pick up the phone and call my phone and tell me that I should ride dirty? I don't ride dirty. Now you can run and tell that I don't ride dirty. I don't ride dirty. I don't ride dirty. I want y'all to go tell your friends. Go tell your friends. Daphne doesn't do that. You can't call me and get me to jump on no bandwagon, because I give people the benefit of the doubt. I do my own research. I'm not afraid. I can't serve God and be afraid at the same time. The two don't go together. You get on here and talk about how God this and God that, but you're scared. So you're going to go with what you're familiar with. It's almost like going back to that old boyfriend, knowing he ain't no good for you, but I'm going to ride with him because I know him. Absolutely not. I'm going to need some of y'all to get y'all mind right. And then I'm going to need for the others, those of you who showed up to the polls, I want to congratulate you, because you have made this race so interesting that you got the people scared. They running scared like little roaches. And I found this quote. I'm just going to read it to you because, I love me a good quote. I love me a good quote. It says, lies are like cockroaches. For everyone you discover, there are many more that are hidden. Gary Hopkins. Let me tell y'all something. A lie don't care who tell it. And my big mama always told me, Daphne, if a person will lie, they will cheat, and they will steal. Y'all want to ride with somebody who's capable of that before they get in office? That's what this person had. They came to this state with a criminal history. Okay. So let's go there. You came here on a bad note. Mario Clark is from here, has had his home in Fulton County before it became the city of South Fulton for 20 years. He pays taxes every year, just like those of us who are paying taxes. He is a tax-paying citizen. And all this young man who's a graduate of DM Thurl and a graduate of Howard University, all he want to do is make a difference in his community. You don't have a job as a cybersecurity with a criminal, nothing. You don't work for a multi-billion-dollar security software company with a criminal, nothing. He's a professional. He has a family. You Google Mario and you don't see a mugshot to come up. Mario would be an excellent representation of his district. And I want to applaud those of you who have voted for him because you gave Mario a chance. You did not, and you are not a part of the box clique. You're not a part of this group of people who want to try to control situations because they are afraid of getting to know someone else. I want to applaud the voters because that's what elections are about. Elections are about putting good people in office because you've done your homework, you've researched them. And if you look at Warnock and Herschel, it is no doubt in my mind that you have to be from Never Never Land to go and check off a box for Herschel Walker. Like there's something essentially wrong with you. And it's the same situation if you can vote for anyone outside of Mario Clark in this runoff. Something is clearly wrong with you. If you can support someone else outside of Mario Clark, it tells us more about your character than it does anything else. It lets us know that you live your life based on fear and motives, and your intentions are not good. If you will go hard and ride with someone who already has a dark cloud over their entire life, and you're going to ride and rock with them, it tells us a lot about you. And I hope you never run for office because it's going to come up. There's too many receipts floating around here about you. It's too many things floating around about some of you that are willing to support a criminal. And I'm not just talking about someone who, they woke up today and was like, oopsie, I made a mistake. No, they have a criminal history, a history of committing crimes, a history of being arrested, a history. And what do they say about history? Let me make sure I find this quote for you. History is a great predictor of the future. Isn't that what one of the quotes says? People with those type of tendencies, they just don't change overnight. And the most recent case, you guys, it is pending from 2020. I'm not talking about a case that was from 1919. This person has three pending open felony cases in Fulton County from 2020. And so it makes you wonder, why do you keep running for office? Why does someone, you guys, keep running for office if they already have a career, if they already have themselves established and set up? Why would somebody run for office consecutively for the past 10 years? Well, I'm going to tell you why, because y'all too slow. I'm going to tell you why. It comes with a check. Okay. And I would ride with somebody like Mario, who has a very legit job. I'm going to read this to you all again. Mario works for a multi-billion-dollar company, security software company, as an IT professional. And his job is to inform all stakeholders about technology and how to advance their organization's goals. He's a graduate of Howard University. He has a college degree. Now, that's not criteria to run, but the man has put the work in. We often talk about how Black men are out here committing crimes. Well, y'all, this Black man is legit. He's professional. He has a college degree. He's working. He's making good money. He don't need to run for office to collect a check. Does that resonate with you? So then his motive to me outright is that he's doing this out of the kindness of his heart because he wants to give back to the community he is in and that he's been serving. Y'all might not have seen it, but people have shown up to the polls and they have spoken. Some people know Mario, and thank God they showed up to the polls to support him. So, Latoya, you just can't make this up. Like, you cannot make this up. All right. So Latoya says, don't warn them. Notoriety, no passion for the position. That's true. And not even the check. Council members don't make real money. She wants the notoriety from the public office. I mean, I can't put my fingers on what it is. But what I can tell you is we are dealing with that with the person that some people put in office as the mayor. Who would go use their P card to go buy tuxedos for any reason, using taxpayer dollars for any reason outside of the city's purposes? This is just like your company, Latoya, having a Christmas party, and you go take that P card and go buy your Christmas party dress. You go buy you some red bottoms, and you come to the Christmas party like that company is supposed to fund your wardrobe. You know, you would immediately be what? Terminated. And so we already have seen that we have a lot of people who have no experience with money. They have no experience with professionalism. So when they get a little taste of a card that has a little limit, I mean, it's not like you got this American Express black card that would allow you to go out and buy a car. Lord forbid one of y'all get that. You broke. I mean, so now you're in office taking advantage of our taxpayer dollars. I just don't understand. If you ain't riding with him, how you riding with her? Because to me, they are one of the same. Because a thief is a thief. Whether you would take money over here or you would commit a crime, I mean, a thief and a criminal, they one the same. They don't just change because you think you know them. Honey, let me tell you, it's a lot of women who thought they knew Herschel. They thought they knew Herschel. And all of his receipts are coming out. So I'm trying to tell y'all now, y'all might be riding dirty over there with that person, but I would never want to be associated with someone that can bring a dark cloud over me and my family. I just wouldn't do it. It's not worth it. Some of you need to do some soul searching. And the one thing you don't need to do, go on and tell yourself this right now. Self, don't call Daphne. Don't call Daphne. Don't text Daphne. Don't call her. Don't try to tell her who she should support. First of all, I live in District 3. But I'm going to tell y'all right now that I am putting all of my support behind Mario Clark. I would love to see him do well for his community where he lives and pay taxes, where you can drive into his driveway, ring his doorbell, him or his wife will open the door. I'm riding with him. I'm riding with a young man who has family ties and roots in the state of Georgia, who lives and is from Atlanta, who graduated from DM Thurrow High School, who then went on to graduate from Howard University, who's working for a multi-billion-dollar company, okay, as a cyber security officer. I'm riding with him. Because Big Mama also said association brings assimilation. You lay in a bed with dogs, you're going to get some fleas. So people, I just had to come on here and let y'all know now winter is coming. This is not what you want. This is not what you want. You don't want to come to Daphne and ask me to be a part of the circus. You don't want me to be a part of the circus. Because by now, everybody who has been a part of this group since it started in 2016, or actually 2015, should know I'm about truth. I'm about transparency. And my name does not go on anyone that will bring shame confusion, and a dark cloud over not only myself, but my family. Some of y'all should really be ashamed of yourselves for riding with somebody who over the years has shown you time and time again they lack the ability to make good, conscious choices and decisions for themselves. And now y'all want to ride with that person and think they're going to get in office, and y'all think y'all going to control that person. They don't even have control over themselves. Are you freaking kidding me? And now y'all got these text messages flying around with y'all names on it. Your names are on it. And you're going to wish one day you had nothing to do with it. You're going to wish one day, Lord, if I could undo that text and go back and take it from the send button, I would. Because God is not the author of confusion, but some of y'all find yourself in the midst of confusion. Calling yourself a leader, and all each of you are doing is leading one another astray in the fray of a lot of confusion. And unfortunately, you think that your voice will carry to the place where people don't know how to do their own research. So I don't know what district some of you live in, but again, I am going to tell you that you need to go and do your own research. And let me tell y'all how I do my research. Okay, y'all ready? Here we go. When I'm researching a candidate who hasn't reached out to me, first thing I do is go to Google. Kind of like if I was still in the dating game, ladies, I would go straight to Google. I'm going to Google, honey. And I'm going to type your name in several times. I'm going to type it in the right way. I'm going to type it in the wrong way. I'm going to put your phone number in Google too. I'm going to put your phone number in Google because, honey, that tells me where you live. I'm going to put all that in. It tells me where you've lived before. It tells me a lot about you, that phone number. Oh, yes. Google the candidate. And then if you happen to see a mugshot, you click on it. Okay? And if you click on the mugshot, then you can read the information. But where you really need to go, you guys, is you need to go to justice.fultoncounty.ga.gov. I'm going to tell you one more time. Go to justice.fultoncountyga.gov. You're going to click on jail records. Ladies, this is good information if you're looking for a man here in Georgia, because some of them, they have several different women, and some of them, they go disappearing, and you don't know where they are, and they be right here in jail. Then you put the person's name in, okay, and you hit search. And it's going to show you if they have any closed arrest records, if they have any open arrest records, if they have any pending cases, if they are out on bond. It's going to show you that at justice.fultoncountyga.gov. Google your candidates and go see who has a mugshot in the system. Go see how many times they have mugshots. And then if you got to go through all that, you got to ask yourself, why am I riding with this person? Because see, if you get elected and you have a conviction, you cannot serve the people. So now I'm just telling y'all, this whole thing, whew, some people have sold their souls to the devil. They have sold their souls to the devil, and you can be mad with me all you want. And y'all can question me all you want. And I'm here for it. And so let me answer your question. Who asked this question? Facebook user. Okay, so you don't want me to know who you are. So here's a question. It's pretty good. Linda Pritchett got most of the votes in District 7, and most of the residents are aware of her record. So the question is, why did they vote for her? I have no idea. It is absolutely, I guess, the same reason why people vote for Herschel. Let's talk about it. Why do people vote for criminals? I don't know, but I don't. That's not how I ride. That's not how I roll. Oh, Miss Harvey. Yeah, Miss Harvey. Yes. And yes, just want you to know now, You might be with them too. I don't know. But at first you was with Alvin. So let's talk about it. You was with Alvin. You hit me up. Hey, Alvin, bring him on. Alvin and I could not get a time to bring him on. I talked to Mr. Alvin and Mr. Reynolds. I mean, he's a great guy. He ran before, but he didn't get enough votes, and he didn't get enough votes this time. So your question to me is rhetorical because Alvin has run twice. Have you asked yourself, Ms. Harvey, why hasn't Alvin pulled it off since he's been active in the community? Because see, that was your issue with Mario is what has he done for the community? Well, apparently the people don't care what Alvin did for the community because they gave more votes to Mario. So what may be of interest to you, Ms. Harvey, is not of interest to everyone else as to their reason for voting for someone. I'm telling y'all that y'all need to stop riding around this city trying to convince people to go your way because I have yet to call anybody and say, hey, vote for Mario. I've gotten to know Mario. I hate to tell y'all this, but y'all don't know all 100,000 members and residents of the city. And if you did, then you would have gotten most of them to get to the polls to vote. But what I have heard from some of the people who have voted for Mario is you have no Mario. He's been helping in the community. So if you don't live in his district and you haven't had one iota of a conversation with him, then why are you riding around here talking about we don't know him? Get to know him. How do you get to know somebody? You either pick up the phone and you talk to them or you meet them where they are. But y'all know about this other person and y'all done put your name on that. It's terrible that y'all put your name on someone who has name recognition and people see that name because hell, she's been running for 10 years. She's been running for office for 10 years. So I'm here for it today, Ms. Harvey. You want to ask me some questions? I'm here to answer. I'm here to give you an answer. It may not be the one you like. But what I'm telling you is y'all need to stop. Oh, keep going. Y'all keep going. Y'all keep going. Y'all keep going. Y'all keep riding with your candidate. But what y'all need to stop doing is putting things in writing where your name appears on it. So if anything that you want to do in the future, you don't want them receipts to come out. You don't want those receipts to come out. And he's not hiding anything, Rodney. I've already said that earlier. If y'all go to this man's website, clarkforchange.com, y'all know District 7 needs a lot of change. Well, Ms. Harvey, only half of the state voted in the Herschel Walker and Warnock race, and so we're in a runoff. What's your point? That has nothing to do with who the candidate is. But what we do know about the Warnock and Herschel Walker race is some people sold their souls to vote for Herschel Walker, knowing good and doggone well he was not the better candidate. Some people opted to vote for an educated Black man as opposed to voting for Herschel Walker, who said Trump is his friend. He said, Trump is my friend. I'm going to say it one more time. He said, Trump is my friend. Well, baby, if Trump is your friend, we are not friends. Because first of all, you cannot even enunciate a simple word as friends. You don't deserve to be in nobody's office but the kindergarten office, learning how to use your basic phonics to enunciate words at this stage and age of the game. Now, why do we stoop this low in life to just ride with somebody because we think we know them? That's on y'all. You don't even have to answer the question. I'm just disappointed that you would pick up the phone and call me and ask me if I would go along with it. And it's absolutely not. Absolutely not. Jay says, again, it's easy to believe a false narrative, especially when you can convince yourself and others it's the truth. Woo! And baby, let me tell you, Jay, they walking around here trying to put this man with this person, and he over here. It's so sad because that's exactly what Herschel Walker has been doing to Warnock, and to see our own race of people do this at the local level. I guess I shouldn't be shocked. I shouldn't be shocked. But what I guess is either more bothersome is that out of fear, people will rock with somebody because they are afraid to get to know someone else. So they do what's comfortable and familiar to them, and they ride with the other person. Now, I ain't no psychologist or therapist. Rodney, he said Trump is his friend. FWEND. Trump is his friend. That's what he said. He said it. I'll put the video in here, but I don't want to give him no hype and play because I don't even want to see him step foot in federal land. I don't. He's an embarrassment for himself. He's an embarrassment for his family. He's an embarrassment for this state. He's an embarrassment for us on the federal level. Yes, he is. And now I just went through and explained to you what I would do when I am trying to figure out who's a good candidate. I walked y'all through Google, told you to type in the candidate's name and see what pops up. That's number one. If you have that candidate's phone number, you can put that in as well and see what pops up. Ladies, if you're trying to date out here in these crazy streets, then you too need to do this and go to justice.fultoncountyga.gov and put the candidate's name in there and see what pops up. Then you have to ask yourself, well, Jesus, if you have pending open felony cases, should I vote for you? Michelle, friend, however y'all want to spell it. He said Trump is his friend. Y'all try to say it yourself. I done had to practice it, so I kind of got it down pat. Trump is my friend. Trump is my friend. Trump is my friend. Okay. So when you're out on bond, you commit any other crimes, you can go back to jail. And this is who people are riding with. So I'm going to tell y'all one more time who I am so y'all don't get this twisted, okay? I just want to make sure y'all understand who I am, okay? I don't ride dirty, okay? I don't ride dirty. So you're not going to convince me to go with your candidate. That's not my friend. And you must not be my friend if you think I'm going to ride and rock with somebody who not only has pending open cases from 2020, but has a known history. I can't even believe I'm having to even discuss this. I just can't. And are y'all ready for this? Because since we're here, I'm going to give myself about 5 minutes. So Mark Baker endorses her this time. But if you all do a search in this group, when this person ran for Senate against Sonia Halpern, Mark Baker endorsed Sonia Halpern. So I'm confused. Here's what I'm learning about people. People endorse people when they have a motive. They're endorsing people that they feel is either going to help them, they're going to be able to control that person, or they can convince that person to do what they want them to do when they get in office. And some people are not doing this for notoriety. Some people aren't doing this for title. Some people are not doing this for a check. They're not doing this for a check. Ms. Harvey, you can run for office when there's not a conviction. That's why I've been stressing pending open cases. Pending open cases. Meaning there was an arrest, got released on bond, hasn't gone back to adjudicate that trial and or that case yet, so it's open. Okay? But there's 3 of them from 2020. And until you're convicted, they can't stop you from running. So yeah, they can run. They can run, but y'all don't have to support them. Because let's just play it out. Let's just say that person gets in office and they are convicted. Then what are y'all going to do then? What are y'all going to do then? But he's been exonerated, Mrs. Harvey. He's handled his business. He has no more pending or open cases. And why would you justify or bring up somebody else to justify perhaps your reasoning and choice to support someone who does have pending and open cases? Now, if y'all gonna come here and ask me questions, I'm gonna give you an answer. It may not be the one you want, but we're gonna talk about it. We'll talk about it. Because I don't want you to call me. I don't want you to get in my inbox and tell me what you think I should do and tell me why you're supporting someone else. Because I haven't gotten in your inbox to tell you nothing. Because that's not how I rock. I stand on what I stand on. I come in here and I give you all information so you guys can make a decision. Or I just outright tell you, hey, I'm supporting this person because of these reasons. And it's up to you to either follow what I'm saying or go do your own research. Yes, I know who you are, Jay. Jay says, embarrassing to the community to elect someone with pending cases, especially a predominantly Black city. It is. But it says a lot about the people who would openly support that person. That's what, you can't undo it now. It says more about you and your character. That's what it says. It says you're afraid and that you live your life out of fear. That's what it says. It says you don't know how to communicate and articulate and meet new people. That's what it says. It says you don't know how to go and do research on your own. That's what it says. It says that you would rather stay in a familiar place than to learn something new or embrace someone where you was in that same position when the city was first formed and you yourself were running and nobody knew anything about you. Listen, just because some of you went out here and fought for cityhood does not mean you are the king and queen of the city. You just fought for it. You fought for it, and that's a great initiative. No one's discrediting that, but you don't own the city. And if you really want what's best for the city, I'm going to end it with this. If you want what's best for the city, you should be supporting the candidate that's best for the city. At all times, not when it's convenient for you, not when such and such made the runoff and I don't know him, so I'm going to support her because she got all these signs left over from running from eons ago and I'm going to support her. Y'all, that is the most ridiculous thing that you all could have ever done. It's the worst initiative you could have started. And it is so sad that some of you have found yourselves in this position and predicament. And all I can tell you is I'd rather stand by myself and be alone than to ride dirty and drive off a cliff of no return to salvage my character. I'm standing over here by myself because I don't ride dirty. Elect Mario Clark for change. I am in support of this young man who's a family man. He has a house that he has purchased in the city, has been living out here with as a tax-paying citizen for 20 years, Ms. Harvey. 20 years. He is an Atlanta native. He does not have a criminal history. He works for a multi-billion-dollar company as a cybersecurity officer. You cannot be in that position if you lack integrity and character. That is like having a clearance to get through Secret Service, okay? You don't have those positions, and you're not running for office because you need a check. You're not running for office because you need a piece of dollar coming from somewhere. Don't y'all see how this works? You're supposed to be a public servant, not someone who needs to be running for this other person has run for Senate, city council, city council, ran against a sitting state representative and sued them. And y'all rocking with that person. I can't for the life of me understand who some of you are at times. But I want to thank you for letting me know that you have these capabilities and tendencies and that you will rock this way. It's just not for me. I'm standing by myself on the fact that this city does not need another person that will be under investigation, that has those tendencies that they will bring the city council. The city doesn't need that, you guys. And as I said earlier, and like you said earlier, Ms. Harvey, well, why did they vote for her? Because people don't know any better, or maybe they just don't care, or maybe they're just set in their ways and they don't want to get to know new people. But it's 100,000 people in the city of South Fulton, and if all you know is your circle, if all you know are the people that you know, it's time to get out the house. It's time to go meet people. There's more people for you to get to know than for you to stay in your circles, because you can't grow like that. There's no way you're growing if you're living in a box. It's absolutely no way. And Ms. Harvey, I know you was for Alvin. A lot of people was for Alvin. A lot of people was for Drew the Man or Drew the Man.
Someone's at the front door doorbell.
There was a lot of people for a lot of people. But on election night, Ms. Harvey, the people spoke and they said, we have votes for this person. And Mario Clark made the runoff. So now, instead of trying to manipulate the race, why don't y'all just let the people get to know them for who they are and let people show up to the polls and make their own decisions. But one thing I don't do is put my name on nobody who will bring a dark cloud to this city. I care about the city enough that I would not want to see us hurt by more opportunities to put us in the news. Because y'all know they just waiting. It's coming. So y'all need to think about what you're doing when you say, oh, did you see the race? There's no way I can support that person. I don't know him. Well, get to know him. And I'm going to make sure that you all get another opportunity to hear from Mario, because early voting is coming up. And we need to make sure that you have enough information. Remember, you can Google these people yourselves. You can read about them yourselves. You don't have to take my word. And I'm not telling you who to vote for, because I've gone through that this past day where people have called me and tried to convince me to vote for someone who has 3 open pending felony cases. And I won't do it. I will not. So run and tell that, okay? Because I'm not doing it. I'll never support anyone that has those capabilities and tendencies and has done nothing for the past 10 years but run for office after office after office after office. And that's a bad sign, you guys. To just run for any office means you want a check. It means you need a check. It means you're trying to find a check. Y'all should be concerned. So y'all are behind this. And remember, I told y'all when these P card things came out, you have to follow the money. And remember when I came on Facebook Live and explained to you that it was discovered that the current mayor put in a business and helped issue a check to someone. You got to follow the money. I hope y'all ain't involved in any of that type of stuff. But association brings assimilation. You all can't be that desperate to try to control someone, to get behind someone who can be a detriment and harm to the city. They've already shown you they're a detriment and harm to themselves, and you're going to support those initiatives for the city, you don't want what's best for the city. You want what you want. At the end of the day, quiet as it's kept, let's talk about it. I'll come back. I'll share more information. But one thing I want you all to do is do your own research for yourself. Okay? Because what I suspect is this person, they're going to do all they can, y'all, to try to find something to say about this man and try to tear this black man down. And I think that that is just the Herschel Walker way. I'm going to call it for what it is. Run this race on principles, your character, and what you can bring to the table. It doesn't matter if someone hasn't been involved because you haven't seen what they've been doing. But the people have spoken. And there are some people who have seen what Mario has been doing in the community. People are not always doing something and posting it on Facebook. People aren't always doing. If I did that, y'all would be exhausted. So just because you don't see it doesn't mean it happened. And just because you can, you guys, it doesn't mean you should. And I'm going to end it with that. Just because you can does not mean you should. Y'all, some of y'all need to salvage your own characters right now. Some of you need to go back and think about the choice you've made to get behind somebody who already has a dark cloud over them, and you're out here helping them to bring a dark cloud to the city. Some of y'all need to go and convict your own hearts and minds and ask yourself, is this what Jesus would do? What would Jesus do? Because God he don't give us the spirit of fear. And that's all I've been hearing lately. Oh, we don't know who this is. Oh my God, what has he been doing in the community? Oh my God, who is this? He is Mario Clark. He is from Atlanta. He's a graduate. He's from Georgia. He is a graduate of DM Thurrow High School. He graduated from Howard University. He works for a multi-billion-dollar cyber security company. Okay. So he's not running for office for the money. That's the first radar for me, is why would somebody run for office for the past 10 consecutive years? Why? Do they have a job? Do they need more money? Do they even have a home that they're living in the city that they are running in? What are people's true motives? That's what you all should be choosing. And we all know Herschel Walker was put up to run by his party just to prevent Warnock from going back into the White House. We already know that. So if you out here pushing a candidate to prevent someone else from winning, you ain't no better or different than the Herschel Walker supporters. You're no different. You are no different. And that, my friends, as Herschel would say, my friends, as Herschel Walker would say, my friends, is why you all need to do some soul searching and ask yourself, how did I allow myself to get to this place in life? How did I allow myself to get to a place where I would allow fear to drive my motives and intentions to get behind somebody I know good and got doggone well I would not have supported if there wasn't a runoff? You didn't support that person in the initial election. Now, I want y'all to think about that. They didn't support that person during the initial. We just going to let it play out. We just going to see what happens. We're just going to let the election play out. Well, now that it's a runoff, everybody wants to jump on this bandwagon about who they're supporting and why. And then you have the nerve and audacity to call people and tell them to support them too. Absolutely not. But thanks for the call. Thanks for the messages. It is not necessary because my character, my ability to make good conscious choices and decisions will not be swayed. Yes, John, that's what they said I said, what would Jesus do? Because a lot of us are professing to be Christians, but we're riding with the devil. And that's bad. And I never thought I would see it. But you know what? God exposes things for a reason. And he lets you see who people are and for what they are and what they stand for. So if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And that's where we are. These people are just falling. They falling. The children are falling. And they are making a choice out of fear to try to determine and control who gets in office. Don't call me. Do not call my number. Do not try to explain yourself. Everything you all have been doing is floating around in text messages with your names on it. You can't undo it now. The only thing you can do is get to know the other candidate if you so choose. Because I mean, at the end of the day, the people have spoken. And if the people continue to speak at the polls, then that's what y'all got to rock with. Yes, James. James says, I like Mario Clark's reminders to vote every day during early voting and twice on election day. Yes, he was giving reminders to get out and vote. And again, I have given you all, if you haven't heard it, I told you all how to search for a candidate, Google a candidate, go to the justice.fultoncountyga.gov website, put that candidate's name in there and see what pops up. And then you decide. And for if you're dating, listen, if you're dating, you need to do that. Like you need to really do your research. Okay. And if that is the case, and you can still ride with that other person, hey, like I tell people, voting for Herschel Walker and or Donald Trump says more about you. Says more about you. It does. It says a lot about you. And lastly, I'll say wounds of a friend can be trusted. If I am your friend and I tell you something and I'm saying something to you right now and it's hurting your feelings, it's because I'm your friend. I don't tap dance around situations and I don't hold my tongue and hold my mule when I know it's something that can be said that may save you from self-destruction. And so I'm trying to let you all know if some of you are planning to run for office at any given time in the future, with what I see that's going on out here right now, or if you're trying to ever vouch for someone else in the future, if you're trying to have any credibility about yourselves, you all need to stop what you're doing right now because you're hurting yourself because of who you're trying to vouch for and who you're associating yourself with. And on that note, all I can tell you is don't call me. I spent way too much time hearing and talking and listening, and it is absolutely not going to persuade me one iota of a bit to rock with somebody else just because I know that person by name. When again, I can tell you, we all know what that person has been doing, and it is not what's in the best interest of the city. If you cannot make good choices and decisions as an independent citizen before you run for office, you're going to continue to do the same things. Becoming an elected official does not change your ability to make good decisions. It actually puts you in a position, if you're already making bad decisions, to think that you are above the law and you will find a way, okay? Listen to me. You'll find a way to manipulate the system for your needs because you were already selfish to begin with. Y'all. Oh, Jesus. John says that right there. What are you saying about yourself voting for Herschel Walker? Just, I'm telling you, no substance. And it's the same thing, John, for a similar election that's happening in the city of South Fulton in District 7. And the reason why it's important for all of you is you might not live in the District 7, but as a totality, as a whole, every district matters. And And anything that happens throughout the city affects us all. You want to have good representation in not only the district, but for the city. And I just can't rock with some of y'all. And now that I see how some of y'all riding, I'm gonna just tell y'all one more time because I want to make sure y'all heard. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure y'all heard this. I just want to make sure. I don't ride dirty. Sorry. Not sorry. And again, I'm gonna make sure that before you call my number, before you reach out to me, before you jump in my inbox, think about it. Think about it and ask yourself, should I even do this? Because I know how Miss Jordan is. Should I even try to plead my case? Because I don't want to hear it. Your name is on some text messages. Your name is on some text messages. Your name is in some situations. And you need to fix it. And that's all I can tell y'all. James says, I would be more okay with Walter if he had no substance, but he has a lot of negative stuff. Walker. I'm sorry, Walker. It says, I would be more okay with Walker if he had no substance, but he has a lot of negative substance. And he does. James, he lost me with Trump is my friend. He just lost me. When he could not enunciate his words, y'all, that's not a good representation of us. And people know that, but they are still riding with Herschel. It makes no sense why we're in a runoff with Herschel. It makes no sense, but we are already seeing what happens. So if that's what's happening there, I'm telling y'all, this is what's happening in the District 7 race, because now we're in a runoff and people are scared because they don't know Mario Clark. And all you got to do is get to know him. He's going to be having open meet and greets. Get to know the guy. But from what you can find out about him right now on his website is he's a graduate of DM Thurl High School. He's from here. He's a native of South Fulton. He has had his home that he pays taxes for 20 years. He's a tax-paying citizen. And he's a graduate with a degree in political science and computer science from Howard University. And he works for a multi-billion-dollar security software company. Who would you rather put your stakes in? Mario or someone who has 3 open pending felony cases right now in the county? You answer that. But you can also Google these candidates and you will find what you will find, and then you decide what you can do as far as supporting them. But one thing that we need to stop doing is trying to pick up the phone and tell people who to support. I can tell people who I support and why, and I just gave y'all the reasons why I'm in support of Mario Clark. Visit Clark for Change, CLARK for change.com to learn more about him and do your own research, and you decide who you will support for that race. And Miss Harvey, you're right. They are voting for the party, not Herschel. Donald Duck could be running, and if he's Republican, they will vote for him, and that's sad. That's why we in the runoff. Well, James, you can run for office. You just cannot be a convicted felon. So again, I mean, that's how that happens. And then John says receipts, text messages. Yes, we are in a runoff because we live in the antebellum South where hate and self-hate, it runs deep. And Jay says this shows people will vote for a party and turn a blind eye to the truth. Woo! 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 Ooh, now that is a sermon within itself. But again, people do what they do. And just because you can doesn't mean you should. I will be back at some point to give you all an up close and personal with Mario Clark. And I encourage you to go go research them all. But Google is your friend, and you determine who you should vote for, not because you got a text message or because somebody is saying you should vote for this person because they are afraid of the other person because they don't know him. Christians do not have the spirit of fear. True Christians, they don't. So they're not afraid of who's running for office because they don't know them. What they do is they find a way to get to know people for themselves. And before they go running around telling people who to vote for, they have a good, clear, conscious mindset of who people really are. You already know who the other person is. You can go Google them, you know. But it's easy to be a follower. It takes courage to be a leader. And on that note, you guys, I will end my live and come back at another time to give you all some more information that you can use, some news you can use. All right. Have a good day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.